Hello, Pyro Media family. Thank you for tuning in. If this is your first time joining us, welcome. We hope your experience with us is fruitful. While we are loading your experience, please do us a quick favor and hit that like button from whichever platform you're watching or listening on. And we do hope you consider hitting that subscribe or follow button so you can check out more of our amazing content. All right, let's start the show.
What is going on, Pyromania? Oh, I'm not even in the right one. There we go. What is going on, Pyromaniacs and Royals? We are here with another episode of Kwame Speaks Live. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I know it's been a crazy, crazy day. We have a lot going on. So thank you guys so much for tuning back in after Pyro Power Hour Reality TV edition. So thank you so much. Hey, yes, we are back, Michaela. Thank you for coming on through. Do me a quick, hey, Coach Leslie. What's up, Queen? Thank you so much. Evening Royals. Yes, yes. Shout out to all the Royals and Pyromaniacs here joining in. Do me a quick favor, y'all. Hit that like button, share, and subscribe. It does help the algorithm, and it does let people know that they can join. You can also follow me on all social media platforms at Kwame Speaks Official, especially on TikTok. That's one of my favorite places to be at. And yeah, that's all we got. Also, make sure you go ahead and text Blaze, BLAZE, to 833-793-2423. Again, that's 833-793-2423. You can also text Kwame, KWA, M as in Mikey as an Echo, to that same number, and you'll get notifications when I go live on my channel on Kwame Speaks Official. And also just to let you guys know, everything we say on here is alleged. Everything is for commentary purposes. Yeah, I ain't spitting no facts unless otherwise said and stated. Okay, praise Jesus. All right. We got a lot to talk about, y'all. We got a lot to talk about on today. We're back. Yes, Dr. Hope, we are back, sir. Yes, we are back. Thank you for coming on through. I appreciate. I know it's late in your area, so it is greatly appreciated that you stopped on by to come on through and chill with the rest of the Royals and the Pyromaniacs. All right, y'all. Let's get into something. Let's do a little continuation of the morning vibes conversation with Sean P. Diddy Combs. Some things came through while we were throughout the day. So there were some things that dropped in. So let's actually find out what is really going on. Hey, Major, what's up, King? You should be sleeping, sir. You're resting and recovering, but we appreciate it. Y'all make sure y'all send some love over to Major. He is recovering from a surgery that was successful. We thank God for it, and we thank God for him. All right, y'all. Let's go ahead and take a look at what's going on with Sean P. Diddy Combs.
We're back with new allegations of sexual harassment and assault against Sean Diddy Combs. Rodney Lil Rod Jones, a producer on Combs' latest album, filed a lawsuit Monday. He alleges that Combs sexually harassed and assaulted him while he lived at several of Combs' homes.
Jones also alleges Combs forced him to engage in unwelcome acts with sex workers and that Combs and his staff engaged in, quote, serious illegal activity. He is seeking $30 million. An attorney for Combs said Jones, quote, reckless name dropping about events that are pure fiction and simply did not happen is nothing more than a transparent attempt to garner headlines.
Thanks for watching.
All right, so that is what is going on with Sean P. Diddy Combs at the moment. Hey, Candace, what's going on? Thank you for joining on through. Michaela says swallowed. That's all I can see. Indeed. But you're a mess, Michaela. But yes, so Sean, or P. Diddy rather, is facing yet another allegation. He has already is dealing with, I believe, 2 other lawsuits, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong, y'all. But this is coming off of his Love album, the producer of the Love album. You guys remember he was on All Red, he was shirtless, all those things or whatever. But this is coming off of that, and his accuser is alleging a lot of different things. We talked about it. We showed do I still have the document? Yes, I do. Look at God. Won't he do it? We showed, let me see if I can make it a little larger. Yeah, there we go. So we showed a little more. Now I'm not gonna go in through all of it again. You guys can watch Kwame Speaks Morning Vibes. We went through a lot of it as well this morning. So I don't want to rehash that and relitigate that. But there's something going on. There is something going on with Sean P. Diddy Combs, because like I said earlier, where there's smoke, there is fire. And there's a lot of things in this world that, when it comes to uh musicians, when it comes to um just different types of things that are going on in the music world that we just don't know about. And there's been whispers about him for a while. So um I don't know what's going on with that. We can only, wait until proof and other things are coming up. That we'll see what happens with that. But there's something going on. Dr. Holt, we get it. He's a gal, in your opinion, allegedly. But yeah, so I don't know. There's been a lot of stuff going on. I think that because this situation has to do with the mail, that it's now, they're pushing back a little hard on it because it could impact P. Diddy's career. But I don't know. I don't know. I think that this is sad. There's some things going on with him that we don't know about, but again, we've talked about this before on previous shows, on various shows, and 2024 is a year of revelation, and so we'll see what is to be yet to be revealed. So we'll keep an eye on it. We're gonna stay tuned on it. Yeah. Next up on our top three, he said he's a super freak. Super freak. He's super freaky. Yeah. Yes, indeed. Michaela. But Wendy Williams. I have to be honest with y'all. I could not watch the last episode. I couldn't finish it. Um, it was too much. This is coming off the heels of the Where is Wendy Williams documentary. And I could not watch the last episode. It was too much. It was a lot going on. I eventually will finish it, but I have to be honest with you guys. It was a lot. This whole documentary was a lot. Knowing what's been going on with her is a lot. And this again is something that happened and filmed rather in 2022. So we're 2 years behind. We don't know. Allegedly she is with a family. Allegedly she is with in a not with family. She's in a recovery center facility. This is just really, yeah, Michaela, this is some really sad stuff. This is crazy. Um and I know some people, and I've even said it, that people have to face their karma, that they have to face their checks, but that they cash out, but I wouldn't wish this upon no one. I mean, I don't care if it's my worst enemy. I would not wish this upon no one. I would not want someone to go through and deteriorate the way that Wendy Williams is deteriorating. This is literally you have to be a really evil person to wish this upon somebody. Like I mean a really, really evil, slime ball for you to wish this upon somebody. I watch clips and it's too much. Yeah, it really I got through the first 3 episodes. I couldn't do the last one. I just couldn't. It was too, I started it and it was too much. I don't trust the son, nor do I trust management. I don't trust management at all. And for those who wanting to know, yeah, there's something about his son her son that is really, this family. It's not, there's a lot of conspiracy theories going out there, but we don't operate in conspiracy theories. We watch that for entertainment, but we don't operate in conspiracy theories. And like I just feel like this is something that there's a darkness surrounding Wendy and her family. And one of the darknesses, in my personal opinion, is her manager. I don't trust him one bit. I don't like how he interacts with her. I mean, they operate more like lovers than they do business partners. And don't get me wrong, I've seen management and managers, get really close to their talent, but this is on a different level. This is on a different level. This is weird. I don't trust him. I don't know. I don't know. This is bad, y'all. This is really, 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 really bad. Dr. Holt says everybody keeps bringing up the Uber Eats bill, but with that aside, I think her son may have grown and wants to take care of his mother. I mean, I don't really think that the Uber Eats bill was that important. In my opinion, like, I mean, yeah, kids are gonna be kids, right? Name a parent that hasn't had their child overspend money, and what do they do? The parent, covers them. That's parental stuff. I'm not caring about that. What the issue that I find is why did the courts feel it necessary to basically give her like a guardian ad litem? You know what I'm saying? Like, like that's what I want to find out. Like, that's what is weird to me. Dr. Holt says if Wendy was to pass away, that young man is going to lose it. Yeah, I think so. Right, he's a widow. Wait, the manager's a widow? Did I hear that? Did I understand that correctly, Michaela? Huh. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I don't trust him. I think something's up with him. I think that he has nefarious intentions. But that's my personal opinion. That's my commentary. I don't have any proof that he does. I don't know what it is about the niece. Again, my personal opinion. Sums up with her too. hmm Sums up with her. I don't know what is. She hasn't given anything to indicate. I'm here for her, wanting to make sure that she is, protecting her aunt and stuff like that. I'm here for that. But there's something up with this niece. I don't know what it is about her. Dr. Ho said, well, I saw something that the judge took away his power of attorney and granted the guardianship is crooked. I got to find that story. Yes, now, here is the alleged guardian. After parts of the new Wendy Williams documentary was released on Lifetime, it has a lot of folks questioning her guardianship. As previously reported, the legendary talk show host was placed under a financial guardianship back in 2022. After, let's see, after Wells Fargo petitioned the courts, claiming the radio and TV personality was an incapacitated person and the victim of undue influence and financial exploitation. Williams's guardian has publicly been identified as attorney Sabrina Moresi. Forgive me if I'm mispronouncing her name. She was appointed to be Williams's guardian by a judge named Lisa Sokoloff. Now, after folks on social media digged up some information on that judge who ruled on Williams's case, some shocking information came of it. According to an article written by ABC 7 New York, back in January 2023, Sokoloff was previously investigated for awarding people guardianship appointments for people who donated to her campaign. Interesting. The report states Manhattan Judge Lisa Sokoloff received $5,720 in campaign donations from 2019 to 2022 from 20 guardianship lawyers, law firms, or people who deal in guardianship cases, and awarded those same people or law firms 62 appointments in 2022. For example, one random lawyer who donated to her was Paul Medeiros. According to the report, in 2022, he donated $1,000 to Sokoloff's election campaign. Sokoloff gave Medeiros 7 guardianship appointments during that year. Many might wonder how that wasn't a conflict of interest. Well, Medeiros previously spoke with Eyewitness News and claimed that his $1,000 donation was not a conflict because he has known Sokoloff for 29 years and has always supported her career. Now, it's not reported if Wendy's current guardian has ever donated to Sokoloff's campaign, but it is some shocking details that some people on social media feeling like something could have been shady. Now, we're not into conspiracy theories, but where there's smoke, I'll let y'all finish that. Dr. O says, see, he was young and didn't know any better. My issue isn't with the son. I don't like her team. Yeah, I agree. I do think there's something up with the son, but yeah, I definitely think that there's something going on overall. But like I said, we don't know what's going on overall with this situation. There's some dark, nefarious things that are going on with this. And I just feel like we need to really, really keep Wendy Williams in prayer. For real, for real. Um, she's in a different space. And I pray that the facility that she is in is providing her with a space for her to come back in a way, if she even comes back. Because I don't know. Based off of what we saw, there's a lot of people speculating if she's gonna make it in the next couple of years. I hope that that's not the case. I hope that she gets healthier. Um, to the best that she can, so she can enjoy the remaining years of her life in peace. And I hope that she finds me. This is really, really, really sad. Dr. Holt says, and I feel Kevin Sr. manipulated Kevin Jr. and a light bulb finally went off in Kevin Jr.'s head. By that time, it was too late. This all sounds shady as hell, Michaela says. Absolutely, it's definitely shady as hell. But this has been a hot topic and a hot story for the past week. So we're definitely going to keep this in keep an eye out on this. It's going to be in the blog. Wendy Williams is one of the pioneers of gossip talk in daytime TV, and she well, I wouldn't say daytime TV, but she shifted and created a new platform and a new space for commentary. And she has a gift um, in terms of being able to communicate and articulate thought and to people and to our audience in a way that was unheard of. And she is able to kind of pull a story and commentary from a wall, from a piece of paper. And so she can take a couple of words and turn it into a full-blown 30-minute to 45-minute conversation. And so that's a talent that not a lot of people have. So shout out to her for um, her gift that and that she's provided to the masses, and for what she's brought to television and radio. So yeah, I just it's just sad to see her go down like this. um and we just got to keep her in prayer and keep the family in prayer, because I mean I would hope that this brings them closer together. So we'll see how that goes. All right, y'all, my last and final story of the night. Saldivar Yolanda Saldivar is the uh convicted unaliver of Selena Quintanilla. For y'all who don't know, there was a documentary. This has been documentary week, apparently. um, and this documentary came out. Selena and Yolanda, the secrets between them. My bestie came over last Friday. We had a little bestie night, and we watched this. Um, and I wanna paint a picture for you guys, because it took me a little longer than expected to figure out some things and piece some things together. Um, I remember hearing about Selena when when I was younger. I remember when she was unalived. I didn't know the full story. I was really young at the time. I think I was like 8 or 9. I was not. She died in 1995. Um, and I remember my mom turning on the TV and seeing that and like just gasping in shock. And then her talking to one of her friends on the phone and just discussing it. But of course I didn't comprehend this. I didn't know what this was. I didn't understand who she was. Um, and I most certainly didn't understand who Yolanda Saldivar is. I want to explain something to you before well, let me calm down. This documentary, um, I want to point out that she is eligible for parole. She's been in jail since 1995. And she is eligible for parole next year, 2025. So she's going to go up for a review and the board and stuff like that. So I think that this is part of the reason why she has decided to, push this narrative of, I'm sweet old lady. I didn't, it was an accident. Um, there's so much more that you guys didn't know. Okay. They in this documentary, they describe their friendship. They described that she alleged that Selena had a was having an affair. She alleged that she kept secrets for Selena. She alleged that Selena's father was like Joe Jackson and aggressive and mean. She alleged that her family um, that her family was not as close as they would have liked people to think. She alleged a lot of different things, specifically surrounding Selena and her marriage. Um, there was a lot. She said that she kept a lot of secrets, that she protected Selena better than even her family could, and that Selena was having a double life. Well, oh, and that everything was an accident. Okay. And she alleged that during the time of the incident, that, and this is in the documentary, that she that she told Selena that she wanted to leave, that she didn't want to work for her anymore, and that Selena had said was begging her to stay. They got into an argument, like, kind of discussion, heavy discussion, heated discussion. And Yolanda had grabbed the gun because she had said that she had, or the pow pow rather, she had grabbed the pow pow because she originally got it because she felt like her life was in danger because Selena's father was intimidating her, allegedly. Um, but the problem that I have in the story is that she stated that in this documentary, she stated that had she had grabbed the weapon and pointed it to her head. That Yolanda had grabbed the weapon, pointed it to her own head, and said that she was going to unalive herself. Now, I want to give a trigger warning for anybody that's watching this, who may be um, uh, uncomfortable with hearing these type of things about, unaliving or any type of suicide. But she said that she was going to do that. She said that Selena had told her, no, don't do that, like, try to stop her, or not necessarily stop her, but was saying, no, don't hurt yourself. She then stated that Selena turned around and was heading for the door. And when she saw that Selena was heading for the door, she said no, and took the pow pow away from her and pointed it towards, like, in that general direction, and that the pow pow miraculously went off. I want you to keep that in mind as I lay this out. Okay? I want you to keep that in mind. I also want you to go back to me with me back to 1995, where she was first interviewed, prior to this new miraculous sweet documentary that she has now. Okay, take a look at this.
58. It was Yolanda Saldivar who fired the single gunshot that killed the young singer. But why the shooting happened is still the subject of intense speculation weeks after the jury's conviction. The prosecution contends it was a case of cold-blooded murder committed by an obsessed fan out for revenge. But Saldivar insists it was all a tragic accident, a story she still stands by today. What happened that morning when Selena arrived? Did she say she wanted to fire you?
That never. She never told me that. I was telling her to leave.
Okay, I want to point out something, that she said that she never wanted to fire that Selena never wanted to fire her. Keep that in the back of your mind.
And I said, it's over, Selena. It's over. I can't work for you no more. I can't work for you no more. She went down. She grabbed my feet and told me not to leave her.
I also want to point out that in the documentary, she never said anything about Selena grabbing her feet. This recent documentary. Okay, let's continue.
And I picked her up and I told her, just leave. And I grabbed the gun, put it in my head. I pulled the thing back. And I said, if you don't leave, I'm going to do it, Selena. And she got up and she says, Mom, we need to talk about this. We need to talk about this. I'm going to close the door. And when she was walking to the door, she was going at an angle. And I told her, don't close the door. And in that,
I also want to point out that in this recent documentary that she said that she was heading towards the door as if she was getting ready to leave. Now she's, but when this first happened in this first interview, she's saying that she was going to close the door. These minor discrepancies are very important, and I'll explain why. Let's continue.
instant, the gun went off.
But why didn't it hit you?
Because I
You know, it's always a black queen that will come through and ask the right questions. Why didn't it hit you, girl?
was pointing to the door and it just went.
Did you know she was hit?
No, I did not know.
There was blood along the door seal.
Now, I also want to point out that in the documentary, she said that when the weapon went off, they both looked at each other and was like in super shock. But now you didn't know originally. Now she's saying that in this one that she didn't know that the gun went off. Okay.
I didn't even look at the door.
But there was blood all over the room.
Mm-hmm.
How could you not see it?
The pictures that I see, they're dots.
Saldivar left them.
So we don't have to watch the whole thing. I that was crazy to me that when I first saw this, because I hadn't seen this original interview. Hey, Cupcake, what's up, Queen? They had the right interior for this. Right, they had the right interior for this situation. Driving home from soccer. Okay, shout out to Cupcakes and Little Cupcakes. So we now are looking at the situation, and we see that Yolanda Saldivar is saying that in the original or this latest documentary that she had pointed the weapon towards her head, and that when Selena was walking out of the room, she said that she was starting to walk away and out of the room, that she told her, no, don't go, or no, something like she said that the weapon, that she took the weapon and she moved it away from her head towards her, and that it just miraculously went off. Okay. We're going to give them the benefit of the doubt for a second, but there's one key point that is going to put a hole in her entire story. Okay. But as we look back at this original interview, that woman had asked her a very good question. Why didn't it hit you? And then she asked her, well, did you know that she was shot? And then she says, no, I didn't know. But in this recent documentary, she stated again that that they made eye contact and that, wait a minute, we both were shocked that happened. Okay. Now, as I was looking for this information, this original interview around when this happened, okay? Oh, she's definitely lying. Okay. She's definitely lying. I remember when I was younger, watching on, I don't know if it was VH1 or MTV. I think it was probably VH1 because VH1 used to do all those behind the music stuff or whatever. But there was an interview with Yolanda Saldivar when she was younger, when she was in jail a couple of years later. And look at her smug face. She had a very different cadence, a very different energy, a very different, vibe than she had on this most recent documentary. Okay? Take a look at this.
Where Yolanda Saldivar is serving a life sentence for the murder of Selena Quintanilla Perez.
You understand the loss of her to her fans.
It's tremendous. And not only to them, but to me.
But they want to know why you killed her.
I won't discuss that.
Why not?
Because the truth is not out.
So tell it.
Not in the court of law.
You've had your day in court. Why didn't you tell it then?
I was not given an opportunity to defend myself. I was represented, which is different.
Yolanda, at that time, your life depended on it. If there is this information that, if it doesn't exonerate you, at least gives context as to why Selena Quintanilla is dead, why would you not have demanded that that be presented in court to spare your life?
If I knew then what I know now, you can rest assured that my trial wouldn't have gone the way it is. Whether it
Let's pause for this chalupa line. Okay. I'm trying to be calm, y'all, because there's a point that I'm going to get to real soon. But he asked a very good question. We got to give it up to the white man, okay? Mr. Caucasian had asked a good question. If you are saying that you are innocent, if you are saying that this is something that is not, that you had no part in, that this was an accident, if it was truly an accident, why would you not do everything in your power to prove your innocence? Let's continue.
was, I can assure you that.
During the course of a 2-hour interview, Yolanda was continually evasive, bolstering the public image that she's clever, cunning, and manipulative. While her conviction is on appeal, Yolanda's reluctance to answer certain questions is understandable. But then, as the interview continues, she jumps at an opportunity to supposedly tell all.
This is a letter that your family has said you received here in prison. Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Behind the Music was given 2 letters by the Saldivar family prior to this interview. They are allegedly from a man named Lorenzo Salinas, who Yolanda says she and Selena met while doing business in Mexico in early '95. The Texas Department of Corrections confirms the letters were mailed from outside the prison. But during an exhaustive 7-month investigation, Behind the Music was unable to find Lorenzo Salinas or confirm his existence.
He tells me exactly what I've been saying all along.
Which is what?
That he feels his conscience is killing him because he knows the truth, and he knows that he feels that, or he thinks that I have things that will eventually say it all. And
Do you?
yes.
Yolanda claims that 2 weeks prior to the murder, she discovered videotapes damaging to Selena's career, and that she had a diary of Selena's that corroborated information on the tapes. In his purported letter, Lorenzo Salinas claims he was hired to beat up Yolanda to retrieve the tapes and diary as part of a plot to extort Selena. Yolanda claims she was attacked, but managed to get away.
You know where those tapes are now.
Exactly.
You know where that diary is now.
I know where they're at.
Yolanda contends they remain where she stashed them in a safe deposit box in Monterrey, Mexico.
Why is that information significant to the death of Selena Quintanilla?
Because that is many of the things that were discussed that day. It was not about the embezzlement. It was not about no upset fan or being fired. It had nothing to do with that.
What Yolanda won't explain is why, if she was protecting Selena, she instead killed her.
Yolanda's
So I want to stop there for a second, because that's really the question, right? If you are protecting someone, we understand that mistakes happen, right? We understand that there can be a situation where I don't know, I'm trying to stop something from falling on you and I accidentally hit you in the face as I'm trying to cover and protect whatever's falling on you, right? Those things happen. We also know that accidental pow fires happen, right? We understand that those things happen. However, mechanics of a weapon don't operate like that, right? Mechanics of a weapon does not, you do need to activate the trigger in some way, shape, or form. right? Like it doesn't just go off. Otherwise, there will be a lot of hurt people, right? Because that's just not how things work. So, one of the things that I found interesting in this conversation is number one, the assault that was allegedly happening with Yolanda. She said that there was somebody that tried to beat her up, that this person was there to try to now they brought up proof and some type of receipts for all of these different things and allegations that Yolanda was trying to corroborate. Here's the thing that I have a problem with. I don't care if Selena was having somebody's chalupa be stuck up in her. I don't care if she cheated on Chris, her husband. I don't care if she was having an affair. I don't care if Selena's father was intimidating. I don't care. That was a lot of men back then. We look at Joe Jackson. He was very intimidating, very quote unquote aggressive and militant, and he kept his children in line. But look how they turned out. They turned out to be one of the most powerful or most talented families, black families in the world, the Jacksons, right? That's here nor there. That was the time back then. The same thing happened with Selena. Like we get it. We even saw it in the movie with Jennifer Lopez. The movie, we knew that the father was aggressive. We knew that the father was machismo, was had this this traditional thought frame when it came to it. However, that has nothing to do with the price of tea in China, boo boo. I want to know what happened on March 31st, 1995 in room 150. What was it, 105 or 158? What happened in that room? Because you're sitting here telling me all this other mess. I don't care what happened with Selena. I don't care who was sticking stuff in her burrito. I don't care. I want to know what happened, honey. I want to know what happened. And your cadence and your vibe and this Yolanda Saldivar, this snarky Yolanda Saldivar, she's a little different than this Yolanda Saldivar. So what happened in that whole situation? Which brings me to my final point, y'all. We could sit here and talk about whether or not Selena's father was aggressive or intimidating. Let's just go with that. Okay, fine. Let's just go down the lane that Yolanda is saying. Okay, girl. So he sent somebody over to beat you up, or rough you up or scare you. Okay. Let's just say that it's a conspiracy with that maybe they lied on you about you stealing funds and stealing money from the thing. Now I will say this: it didn't make sense why they went after Yolanda allegedly for for missing funds when at the time she wasn't in charge. She wasn't the president of the fan club when that happened at that time. But that's here nor there. Let's just give that to her, okay? Let's also give her allegedly Selena was having an affair. Okay. What does that have to do with the price of tea in China? Did that warrant her getting shot? My question to you, y'all, is she stated in both instances that Selena was trying to get her to not harm herself. And I want to be very clear with you. When you are doing that with someone, when you see someone trying to hurt themselves and you care about them, you are not in a space where you are fearing them. You are fearful for them. Catch what I'm saying. Let's say Jane Doe is one of my good duties, and she is going to harm herself. I am not going to sit there and run away from her if she's trying to harm herself. I'm going to try to go towards her and say, no, don't do this. I'm here for you. I love you. I want you here. Because my immediate reaction is not fear of like my personal harm. My immediate reaction is fear for you that I'm going to lose you. So I want to go towards you. That's my natural reaction. So my question is, why did Selena turn around? Either she was going to run to get help, but the way you explained it was that she was going to close the door. Why would she want to close the door if you were going to harm yourself? Why would she want to close the door if she saw a weapon in front of her? I'm not going to close the door. I'm actually going to yell out for help. So why would I want to close the door? That was your initial response and your initial statement in that first interview. And then when you did the behind the music interview, you were very coy. You were very secretive. You didn't even talk about it. You said, I know the truth. I know the truth. And you sat your bean burrito head behind down on that couch and was all snarky and smirky with that interviewer and that reporter. Now you know that you're going to be eligible for parole and you're coming out with all of this. Who cares who she slept with? Who cares what was going on if she was partying at night? If she was, yes, if she had a closeted life as much as you say, if she was sheltered as much as you claim, yes, when she's free to go out and you're her chaperone, of course she's gonna want to go and party and have a good time and do what she wants to do if she's away from her family. She's rich. She's famous. So why are you sitting there acting like that made a difference or that matters? Like they had a whole conspiracy against you. It would be different if you are a part of their overall finances for the overall Quintanilla thing or project. You weren't. You were just in charge of the fan club, and then you helped her with Selena Inc., which was her clothing line and fashion store. So what did it have to do with you? And why would she want to beg for you to, let's just say that did happen. Again, why did you walk away? Why would she need to walk away or run away from you? Doesn't sound right, lady. It doesn't sound right. And if you were really her friend, you wouldn't be trying to throw her name through the mud. I think you're fraudulent. I think you were a crazy fan that got access to a space where most fans wouldn't, because you really came out of nowhere. You even said it yourself in the documentary that you really came out of nowhere. Furthermore, there were people who said, witnesses, that when she ran towards the hotel office lobby, you stepped outside and kept pointed your weapon at her and yelled BITCH. Some don't make no sense. Some's not vibing. That sounds too taco short of a sack. So I encourage you guys to watch this documentary for yourself. It's very interesting. But what now? What was your reasoning behind all of this? What do we do now that we hear about Diddy? What do we do now that we hear about Wendy Williams? What do we do now that we know that Yolanda Saldivar's probation, or excuse me, her eligibility for parole is coming up? What do we do now? Because if what is happening with Diddy is true, if what is going on with him is true, is this going to be another Christian Key situation where he pays somebody out and he's continuing to do what he does? And Wendy, what is going on? What do we do now? Now that we know all of that she went through, or that she was going through in 2022. And we don't know what her status is right now. So what do we do now? What now? What is the next steps? Is this a conversation about guardianship that we need to kind of figure out more? Is she bringing awareness to guardianship issues? Is she bringing awareness to this type of broken system where people who are going through stuff that they can't control their own autonomy of their funds, of their money, of their life? Because I'm gonna be honest with you, if people didn't rally around Britney the way that they did, she would probably still be in that guardianship. However, we're now seeing something's going on with Britney too. So two truths can exist at the same time. There could be something going on with Wendy that's detrimental to her health and her life and her well-being. But at the same time, she may not need a guardianship, and she just needs people around her that actually give a crap about her. And last but not least, marketing is a hell of a thing. Because I remember this Yolanda Saldivar. The smirky, the condescending looking, the sneaky, the horrible chula eyebrows. Now we're seeing a fragile, sad old lady who's eligible for parole for unaliving a woman that she allegedly loved and cared about. So what now? What do we do now? What happens when we have these situations that are popping up in the world when it comes to Diddy, when it comes to TD Jakes, when it comes to all of these different things about people these sex trafficking rings, all of these alleged things that are happening? We dealt with R. Kelly, didn't we? We got to the bottom of that, but we had visual proof that something was going on with that. Meanwhile, as we now know and found out, years have been going by of things that were happening to Aaliyah, to other girls, allegedly other boys. So at what point do we sit here? Hey Pam, how you doing? At what point do we sit here and not acknowledge that there's a problem? At what point do we not acknowledge that we are throwing away our elders? Because if we had rallied around Wendy a lot sooner, I believe that she would be in a different situation. That's not our responsibility. I'm not saying that we have to put it all on us. Her family should have been there. She surrounded herself. There was a lot of different circumstances. But what I'm saying is, this is not the first time something like this has happened. It's just that this is the first time that we're seeing it on such a massive level with someone so famous. But this happens a lot. We talked about earlier about that lawyer that is her guardian, and about that judge that was getting donations for allegedly in exchange for guardian, or what seems to be in exchange for guardianship approvals. And finally, we have this situation with Yolanda Saldivar, a family that has to constantly relive these situations over and over and over again. You have not only taken away their daughter, their sister, their wife, their friend, their music idol, but you keep ripping the Band-Aid off, and the scab is not healing. The wound doesn't heal because you keep doing this because you want a way out. You should be in jail for the rest of your life. What's left of it? So that's all I got for you guys. I hope that that we can get to a real situation where we start really figuring out what's going on with these issues. We're gonna keep an eye out on Diddy. We're definitely gonna keep an eye out on Wendy Williams. I'm definitely going to keep my foot on this woman's neck. Absolutely. Yolanda Saldivar. Because I enjoyed Selena's music. I enjoyed the story of what she brought to people and how she averted a riot and calmed a crowd with just her sheer presence. That's a power. That's an influence that not many have. And out of, we don't know. And again, I don't care what was going on with her personal life. That's not what she was there for. I wasn't married to the woman. But I do think it's important that we understand and figure out why Yolanda did what she did. And stop telling me it was an accident, because it wasn't. I don't believe that for a second. Because even if it was allegedly an accident, you shouldn't have pulled the gun out. Because if it was an accident, it was at least at a minimum recklessness, irresponsible for you to even have a weapon near her, for you to even pull it out. But that's all I got, y'all. I hope you enjoyed tonight's show. I will keep you guys posted on these topics. I will see you guys tomorrow for Pyro Power Hour with Mona. And I will see if you guys are in our Patreon, go ahead and make sure you guys join up in our Patreon because we do have in a few minutes, actually, we do have the Walt Bay Seduction airing at 8 p.m. my time. And 10 p.m. you guys' time, so you guys can check it out, or you guys can check it out tomorrow morning, or tomorrow when it airs, because it'll still be there for our patrons. So we love you guys. Thank you so much for rocking with me. I appreciate you. I didn't even take a commercial break. Oh no, I did take a commercial break. Yes, I did. Oh no, I didn't. Did I take a commercial break? I don't think I did. Oh my goodness. All right. Well, I'll play one commercial on the way out, and I will see you guys on the other side. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.
Thank you for watching Pyro Media Network. For more information, please visit pyromedianetwork.com.